Hey there, math students. Mr. Rising here once again. And this is a continuation of our data analysis unit and really looking at two-way tables and Venn diagrams. This is kind of part two of two-way tables, and I want to talk about relative frequency. So last time I used data from the class survey. There's 21 students, and we figured out the number of dog owners and the number of cat owners. We talked about if you could have a dog and a cat, right? Those questions aren't mutually exclusive, but each question individually is mutually exclusive, meaning do you have a dog or don't you? You have to be in one group or the other. You can't be in both. So last time we took that information and we built this two-way table here. And basically, again, this is called a frequency table because it's just the number. The number of dog owners and cat owners are 9. The number of cat owners that don't own a dog are 0, right? The total number of cat owners are 9, and so on. That's what we did last time. This time we're going to use this data and we're going to create what's called a relative frequency table. And why do we call it relative? Well, it's relative because you're looking for a percentage of something. And sometimes this information is much more useful than just numbers. You could say, well 28 students know how to speak French. Well, is that a good number? Is that a bad number? It could be relative, right? If there's 30 students in the class and 28 out of 30 can do that, all right, that would be high. If it was 28 out of 2.8 million, it would be really low. So sometimes the numbers themselves can be a bit deceiving, but having the percentage means a lot. And that's what a relative frequency table is. And I'm going to go through a few examples. Again, I use the term relative because it's also relative based on what you're looking at. So the first example, and again, we're using the cat dog survey data, is called row relative frequency. So another way to think of it is, okay, my rows are here. Do you own a cat? Do you not own a cat? And then what I'm really saying is, okay, out of cat owners, I just want to think about cat owners for a moment. Now I'm going to say, okay, of my cat owners, what percent own dogs? And in this case, it would be 9 out of 9, or 9 divided by 9, or 100%. Very interesting. See, that number is 9. What does that mean? Oh, 100%. I know what that means. Of my cat owners, what percent do not have a dog? 0. 0 out of 9, or 0%. And that is very interesting. And actually, this is how we infer a lot of meaning from data, because you will find pattern. And especially in social psychology, behaviors, medical studies, you look for these relationships in where things are consistent or where they're not. And so right now, we're just introducing this idea. Continuing on. All right, now I'm going to go for the non-cat owners. All right, you do not have a cat. How many non-cat owners have a dog? Well, it was really 10 out of 12, or 83%. How many non-cat owners also don't have a dog? 2 out of 12, or 17%. You'll notice that these numbers should add up to the row total, because this would be 9 divided by 9. This would be 12 divided by 12. So that's what row relative frequency is. You look at the questions on the row side of the frequency table. The same can be done for column relative frequency. In column relative frequency, you look at the columns. Do you own a dog? Do you not own a dog? And then you do the same process. You're like, okay, if you own a dog, there are 19 of you. Do you own a cat? Well, 9 of 19 own a dog and a cat, or 47% of dog owners own cats. 53% of dog owners do not own cats. What's interesting is then when you compare that to non-dog owners, well, 0% of non-dog owners have cats, and 100% of non-dog owners don't have cats. And so that's this game of kind of shifting your perspective, but you can actually see if there's similarity in the data. The final example, of course, is a combined relative frequency. We're saying, okay, just give it to me out of the total number of people. So here what we're really doing is we're saying, what percent own dogs and cats out of the total class surveyed? Well, that would be 9 over 21, and that would be this box here. 43% of students own a dog and a cat. 48% of students own a dog but no cat. Nobody, 0%, own a cat and no dog, but 10% of the students own neither a dog nor a cat, of course. Now, what you need to be really careful is rounding. So all of these are rounded to the 100th place, and you'll see right here there's a little bit of an error between, if you added these up, you'd get 0.91, but when you actually take 19 divided by 21, you get 0.90. What happened here is when I rounded this, it basically rounded it up one. And so that would cause a slight discrepancy. So just be very careful about that. You really shouldn't round until the final step, right? So actually, if I took this out one more decimal place, it would be like 0.42 something, and this would be maybe 0.47 something. But the fact that I rounded those first means it goes the other way. All right, I think you get the idea. Your assignment now is to do it. So what I want you to do is find the row, column, and combined relative frequencies for this data. You've already worked with this data before. So basically just do it on paper. It doesn't have to be electronic, but you're just going to take a picture of it, submit it in, and do the media upload of your picture, holding up your 3 tables. They should be relative frequency tables. Again, row, column, and combined.